Hi, it's Carolyn Moore with Modern Widows Club, and again, we're continuing with Caring for Widows, Brian Croft. So, we're in the chapter 2, The Price of Neglecting Widows, and we were talking about the section here where it says God's indignation at the ill treatment of widows. Let's continue to read this chapter because it's really powerful. There was a price to be paid for such ill treatment. Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel spoke of the judgment of God that came with the exile. While the ways the widow was treated was not the sole cause of the exile, it was one of the sins highlighted by the Holy One of Israel. The people's failure to uphold the cause of the widow was placed alongside other sins, such as shedding innocent blood, following after other gods, practicing immorality, profaning God's Sabbath, and indulging in bribery. For these and all their sins, Israel was scattered among the nations. Jeremiah actually warns his contemporaries on the eve of the exile that because they have forsaken God, they will be destroyed, winnowed like grain with a fan, and their widows will be increased. Jeremiah 15:7-9. I cannot help thinking that that's actually what's happening right now in modern day with COVID, which has become literally a widow-making machine. The numbers aren't told in the media, aren't shared, but we know that it's happening. It is a telling and sorrowful explanation in the opening words of Jeremiah's lament over ruined Jerusalem. How lonely sits the city that was full of people. How like a widow is she, who was great among the nations. Lamentations. That's 1:1. So, the next section we go into, like I said, this is a really short chapter. It's 4 quick pages. The next section we go into is called God's warnings given by Moses. I learned a lot by reading these chapters in such a short amount of time, and I actually reached out to Brian Croft and thanked him, the author, for writing this, because he put into words things that I just couldn't explain and share with people, that I felt that there is a price to be paid when we truly do not follow James 1:27, when we truly do not follow Isaiah 1:17 and become the defender of widows. What is the result of that when we do not pay any attention?